Hello, people of the earth. Welcome to a video I don't usually do, but hey, seeing as we're now in this lifetime, in this path that we're on, apparently, I have to speak about it. I have to talk about it, being the Simpsons connoisseur that I am, of sorts. Ever since the announcement of the second movie. Yeah, there's another one coming out. Maggie's first word is finally coming true, but maybe I have to speak some horrible truths about it. Don't know why I put that over there, but I do have the first one. This is a DVD. I bought it day one. It came out. But I also went to go and see the movie in theaters at least 6 times. And if you're saying that's too many, nobody who didn't see the movie would say that. But yes, I thought I'd give my views and give my thoughts on why I'm not particularly hyped for it. As you may or may not be aware, the usual videos I do for this channel are Let's Play videos with video games or whatever, and other things. Whatever I fancy, really. Whatever I want to do. This is why I'm doing this now. I've got to make this quick before I run out of sunlight out there. I've left it nice and late. And light, come in. But where was I? So, but yeah, so I like to say lots of Simpsons quotes throughout my videos. I probably just did one just a minute ago, you know, about the movie thing. That was with the Itchy and Scratchy movie. But I do obviously have now, finally, that they've announced the second one to come out, I think in a couple of years from now. I want to say a few things, and I have been thoroughly thinking about things. I've not, you know, made a video instantly after hearing the announcement of it. I've taken some time and I've thought about it, and now my mind is completely clear what I need to say about this, I hope. But just in case I haven't, here's the notepad of knowledge. He's full of knowledge in my writing. I've got some just bullet points that I want to go through on my concerns. What are the perimeters of me actually actively wanting to watch it? And other concerns that I may have, or just things to point out that I think need pointing out. So the most important point, and I've put the least important point bottom, but all of them are valid. The last two may be just towards me personally, and then the top ones, I've got like, how many? 6 points. I've got 6. No, 7. 7 points. I'm miscounting. No, I'm not. That's the amount of lines. So, yeah. So starting with the first point, let's address it. Let's stop beating around the bush here, Aki. Right, let's go. So, in order for me, I know for sure, if I want to go and see this, when it does come out, I need to know in advance that the writers from the golden age of the show are still doing it, because they did the other movie. They did this one. They've still got some of the original writers there, obviously, now, from as far as I know. But things have changed, and you know, I'm not saying that the new writers or whoever has replaced the older ones are bad, but as I've said before, I think many times, I think buying the DVDs of the box sets, which they're struggling with now, sort of buying those and then watching the audio commentaries. The audio commentaries of the Golden Age were fun and informative, and people knew what they were talking about, and they were funny as well. But the ones that came out for the later seasons, I watched them out of sheer curiosity. They were trying to be funny, and people were laughing, and I'm going, what's the fucking joke? So that's why I've kind of fallen out of love with the show as a total. I still enjoy the first 10 seasons. That's saying something in itself. Usually people say, oh, the golden age was between like season 3 and season 8 or something like that. Maybe season 7 if they're going strong, but I like season 1 to season 10. It's nice to see season 1 and 2 and see them grow into what they became, and then I do believe season 3 is where they start picking things up, but I still enjoy seeing the origins and, you know, seeing how they started and how things were shaped out. It's just classic, you know, it's timeless at the end of the day. And then you can see slowly the decline on 9 and 10, I think, in my book. And then after that, I would obviously still watch them, but I'd be like, this show's going downhill. And I was saying that back then, like 12 years into the run. And how far are we now? I don't lost count. That's how bad it is. But you know, if I lost interest in say 2005, and then the movie I know came out in 2007, and I was like, I was keen. Obviously, I was hyped. I'm like, finally a big movie for the big screen, and I get to sit with lots of other alleged fans as well, and we can all watch it and have a laugh together, and we did. And I went 6 times, and the biggest laughs were interesting for each crowd, because you know, usually with a movie, after you see, I've got something on my chair. Hold on a minute, I'm erasing it with my pen, even though it's got an eraser on it. I get distracted. Stop it. But you know, usually when you go and see a movie, after so many viewings, the crowd dwindles, but the crowd never dwindled. The crowd never dwindled, just saying. All 6 times I went, which was, you know, a good like 2 or 3 weeks into the lifetime of it being there. There was still the numbers there. And they were still going ha 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 ha. And I was still going ha 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 ha. And then when I bought the movie, I watched it and went ha 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 ha. Or however you laugh. I don't know. How do you laugh? I go ha 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 ha. But you know that already. But yeah, it's just a case of I feel like even the writers nowadays have kind of given up and are now throwing anything at the wall, and are now saying, you know, let's not make the show good anymore because we've run out of ideas. There's nothing more to do with these characters. They're done, because the more lore we write in, the harder it's just going to be to keep consistency. Even though the Simpsons aren't known to keep consistency in their characters, some of them have, you know, kept traits over from previous episodes. And, you know, it's just hard to keep up with it all without breaking someone and then, you know, some nerd going, I sure hope they got fired for that one. See, I'm still a fan at heart. But yeah, I think the be-all or end-all sort of requirement for me to even be remotely interested in the next movie coming out is you need those writers. Otherwise, I'm like, no, because I would just treat it like any episode on TV. No, not. Not watching it. So yeah, that's my first point, is, you know, because they're still around, I'm pretty darn sure. So bring them back just for this one last hurrah. That does lead me into my next point, is I really do believe that this should be the swan song. This needs to be the end of the entire show. Leave it off on, you've said, you know, you teased sequel on the first movie, do the sequel, be done with it. Because the minute I knew, that I heard that Disney had bought it, I'm like, It's gonna last how long now? Because Disney are gonna keep funding shit. Because they fund shit. Because look at all the movies they've made. They're shit. So, and this is under their banner as well. So is it going to be shit? It might be if we don't have the writers. But that's why my first point is more important. Because even if they said, oh, this is going to be the end, and then I can happily like watch it sail off into the sunset, you know, on a high note. But if we don't have the writers, that's the last memory I don't want to have of them, is to see the writers just pissing all over my childhood, basically. It's like a spit in the face. Just to say, this is how we're leaving with a movie, and the writers are shit. Or not as good as the Golden Age runs, you know. So yeah, I want to be able to go into this movie knowing that it is the last one, but also it's from the people who started it off. It would be a nice kind of bookend for each side. I was even thinking that they should make the movie sort of Christmas themed, because wouldn't that be funny? That would actually be absolutely perfect in a perfect world, because I know the first episode was supposed to be Some Enchanted Evening, which didn't go well through the animation course, which was terrible. No, I don't blame them. So the first episode was actually the Christmas episode. Wouldn't it be perfect? They started with that one, and then they're going to end with a movie that is Christmas based. They can call it The Simpsons Save Springfield. Not that I feel like that should be absolutely perfectly necessary, or indeed a perfect title or something, because that sounds too corny. But because that's the other thing I was also thinking about, is what is the plot going to be for this? You know, because the plot for the first film, you know, it affected all of Springfield, and The Simpsons was the reason behind it, or more specifically Homer, but, you know, what happens to Homer happens to everyone else. So that's what this film also needs to be in terms of the plot. But again, this isn't my main point. This isn't an important thing, but I'm just curious on how they're going to incorporate the entire town of Springfield and have The Simpsons be the center point of it all, because that's what it needs to be at the end of the day. It is the Simpsons movie. It's not the Mo Sislak movie, as much as I would like that. But hey, here we are. But yeah, this needs to be not only, like I said, I have to keep reiterating now, I'm sorry, but it's like we need the Golden Age writers, the writers who came in at the start for those first 10 years or so. And, you know, otherwise I don't care about the rest. But then I can watch it and say this is the end, and I can leave it off on a high note and have some good memories. Okay, that's something that needs addressing too, is obviously I am concerned. I don't want to put words in her mouth or whatever, but Julie Kavner needs to be addressed here really badly, and I think the general consensus is everyone is worried, because I've heard clips of her recent work with Marge, and I love her. She's brilliant. She is the voice of Marge, and she always will be. She's had the iconic voice for her for the whole series, and I love it. It's perfect. I couldn't picture Marge with any other voice. So, but, you know, that's why the other reason why this show needs to die, I feel, just to save her voice. Because it feels like it's sounding like it's killing her inside, and she's sounding unmotivated. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but that's what it comes off as. For the clips that I've seen, it's like there's an old woman talking in a young woman's body, and it just sounds off. Just like with everything else, like you know, they've replaced a lot of the voice cast now because, you know, the black people have to be voiced by black people, or some nonsense like that. And I'm not even racist, but it's just like, and now when I hear Dr. Hibbert and I hear whoever, and they just don't, it's just like, this is a completely different person. Who is this? This isn't what I know. Why have you replaced it when you know Harry is perfectly capable, as he's demonstrated. That's Harry Shearer because he did the original voice for Hibbert. See, I know my stuff. um, but it's just and that draws me on to my next point. Moving on from Julie, is any continuity I've put down here, any continuity is going to alienate me, because I haven't watched it, like I said, since, okay, the movie I'll say, and then I used to watch a lot of I still stuck around for the Halloween stuff, because I like the Halloween episodes, because they usually show off a good amount of creativity that I can put up with, and then the jokes can be secondary as far as I'm concerned on that front, so that's fine. But not saying I'm dealing with mediocrity here, but hey, I'm taking what I can get out of those. But as far as my love for the show's gone, it's completely gone. After Disney bought them, I'm like, nah. It's like the Disney are holding a monopoly now over everything, because they bought everything practically, and like, what's next? And now the Simpsons have sold out, you know, and I'm just like, I felt like they turned their backs on, you know, I'm speaking for me, but I'm speaking very often all the other fans that are the fans of the golden age where I sit. It's like, we're not going to come back to watch just because Disney's bought you. You know, and you know, we can be loyal. I'm still loyal to the first 10 seasons. I can say I am a strong fan of them, if you couldn't tell. But trying to get behind you now is impossible, because I don't want to support Disney. It's as simple as that. You can take the mick out of them all you want, but it's just satire, and it's satire that doesn't work. You know, just no. So yeah, so in regards to the continuity, I'm not going to know anything. You know, all the people, the cast members have died. Flipping, you know, and the Krabappel's voice actress and whatever. That's the biggest one for me. So, you know, and now Bart's got a new teacher, and it's just alienating. And I'm not going to know half the if any new characters have been introduced since between, like, probably 2010 or 2012, somewhere around that time when I stopped watching. Any new I'm going to say, who's this? And any new voices that have been replaced since then, I'm going to be going, they sound different. That's weird. It's not going to be the same. So yeah, that's my personal concern for me. I don't know what the other people who like the Golden Age, if they still watch the show, then they're going to be fine on that front. But me, I'm just going to be like, is this a character exclusive for the movie, or is this suddenly someone else has come in and I'm not aware of what they are, or who they are, or what they do, so I won't be able to understand the context of their joke, maybe? If they have one. So there's that for me personally. I don't know if any of us agrees with me on that one. And then my last note here, I'm gonna tear into some people. Fucking. Actually, I'm gonna keep the pen. So I've seen people on YouTube when, you know, this was announced, and when the movie was announced, you know, the actual video, and I watched the comments because I wanted to see people's reactions and get a clear view of what everything was going on. And there was a lot of people, you know, saying the same thing I am: this needs to end, this needs to be the last thing. And I'm like, yeah. And then there's people saying and then there's people saying, see, you still do care because you're here watching this video. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be here. And it's like, would that really be something that someone says about a thing that they care about, that it needs to die? We're here. because we want to say that this would be the perfect send-off. Give us the sequel that was promised in 2007 and then end it. That's what we care about. We care so much that we don't want it to be dragged through the mud anymore. So don't say we care about the show still. We don't want any more. To put it in context, I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and I'm a big... They're down here. I'm a big fan of this guy, allegedly, and a big fan of this guy. Both of these franchises. But do I go around saying, this series needs to die, please kill it? No, I don't. I want them to succeed and go on and continue to deliver brilliant products that they've been doing. When Konami bought Bomberman, I was like, oh shit, that's it. They're going to ruin it. And I've liked the 2 games that they brought out, and I'm thankful that they brought 2 games out. I don't want those series to die. I don't want Sega to suddenly pack up their bags and saying, we're not investing in Sonic anymore. That's it. I will be majorly disappointed because I care about those franchises. So you saying I care about the Simpsons franchise and I want it to fucking end and die, does that sound like I care about it? No! So don't say to people that they clearly care about the show or anything. If they're interested in this movie for the same reasons I am, yeah, I guess we are in that sense, but we want it to... If it's not, like I said, it needs to have the Golden Age writers. That is the highest priority, because that's all I care about at the end of the day. And look, we don't have them anymore. And even if it was the last one, well, I'm reiterating again, aren't I? But my other points are, like, you know, you could make it sound really amazing and whatever, but we've stopped caring. I won't show up if you don't say it's the end, because I know you'll just continue it, and I'm helping fund that. You know, keep my money. Oh, my camera. You know, that's the thing going around is you know, vote with your wallet. It's the best way. Just tell them, if you're going to continue the show, I'm not interested. Although, if it has the Golden Age writers, then that'll probably be the last thing I ever watch from them. And I will invest. But, yeah, those 2 things probably, now that I've said it out loud, probably need to be together. But, yeah. But, not the... if it is the last thing, then I don't want to watch it if it's not the Golden Age. I'd just rather be happy watching the final episode of Season 10. I've forgotten what that is now. I've got to look it up. Editing me, look it up. What is it? Cool. I'll tell you here whether I like that one or not. Right, so now that we got that out of the way, so yeah, I'd rather be happy doing that than watching a movie that isn't made by the Golden Age writers. And if it isn't the last one, and it's still made by the Golden Age writers, I'll probably still invest, but otherwise, I'm not going to help it. I'm not going to assist it. I'm not going to enable it to continue and be dragged through them. I heard that there was like a reconnaissance recently, and the episodes were kind of getting better, as if the writers are actually going out of their way to try. But again, it's like, you're not going to get my fans back, because number 1, Disney, and number 2, it's like I just want the show to end. I just want it to end. I'm fed up with it still existing. That's not me saying I hate this. That's me being compassionate and being passionate about the series, and I want you to stop ruining it for the current generation or whoever's watching it now, because I can still be a Simpsons fan, and then people were like, you like that shit? And I'm like, it didn't used to be shit. So that's where I stand with all this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about all these thoughts. Do you want the Golden Age writers to come back for the movie? Give me some plot ideas. We can get some plot ideas, even if it's a Christmas one. um, do you think this movie should be the end? And obviously, are you worried about the voice actors, because they're not going to last forever, and then they're all going to change as if the show keeps up the pace of what is going on. You stand up. Of what is going on, so it's going to be completely alienating to anyone who's not watching it anymore and wants to come back, and then it's going to be like, this isn't the same, just get rid of it. It's like everyone rehashing. It's like the Simpsons have made a comeback, you know, from nostalgia, but they haven't actually left. But I don't like shows that are coming back and being renewed, and then they're being made crap, and then I've got to reiterate that I'm a fan of the old one. Like I keep having to say, in terms of Disney, one of my favourite Disney films is Aladdin. And people are saying, that wasn't too bad, and I'm like, the animated one. And they're like, oh, I've never seen that. So they need to just stop. They need to just stop. Also, I heard Aladdin was racist somewhere, but that's not what I got out of that picture. I just got, oh, here's Aladdin struggling in this world, and he's going to overcome and marry the princess and whatever, and it's going to be great. And Robin Williams is going to steal the show. Great movie. No, I didn't detect any racist. Anyone who detects a racist is being a bit too PC, I think, including Disney themselves. That's not what I got out of that movie. I didn't walk out as going, that was incredibly racist. And that's not what I get out of it still. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. But yeah, comments down below on that front. Are you going to struggle with continuity? How long have you not been watching the show for, if you haven't, or are you still watching it? I'm fascinated, and if you are still watching it, what do you think of it? Because, you know, I'm not going to diss people for liking what they like, but when you're someone like me, and, you know, if the majority of the overall people are saying it sucks now, then I'm not going to want to brag about the fact that I like it so much. It's kind of like suddenly it's a guilty pleasure almost, you can describe it as. But yeah, I don't know what to think about it. And do you still care? Or do you still care enough for wanting it to end? Like I do. I will leave it at that. Sorry, I said the next time I'm going to sit in this chair, I'm going to talk about The Simpsons, and this is what I come around to be doing, because I'm supposed to be doing, I'm still, on a side note here, calculating my top 10 episodes, which is really hard. My top 10 favourite Simpsons episodes, we're getting there. I'm getting there. I've done so many rehearsals sitting here in front of the camera doing this, and just like, now that I'm talking about this episode, should it be deserved to be in the top 10? And I've just gone on and redone it and re-evaluated so many times, because it's a tough one. There are some mainstays in there that have stayed in there since the beginning, going, that's going to be in my top 10, and that one is, and that one is, and that one is. But some of them are just being juggled around so much. I will have, the next time I do sit here, I am going to definitively have a top 10 favourite Simpsons episodes. And they're all going to be between seasons 1 and season 10. Okay? Okay. To know in advance. So I'm going to thank everyone for watching. Hope you got insightful, and hope you're entertained by my antics. But let me know what you think about the points that I brought up, and do you agree, do you not agree? Let's debate, please. Let's do it. I'd love to have a debate with someone that I can appreciate both sides of the coin, because I get it. If you like the new stuff, then that's great, more power to you. But you got to understand from my side, I'm a fan that's sort of given up supporting it, and I want it to be stopped being dragged through the mud. But yeah, I'm reiterating. I'm a going. goodbye for now. You can even join my Discord server. I'll put a link for that in the description down below, and it's also on my channel page, and we can discuss it there even. But yes, I am off. Goodbye.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.